Hello! Today I am going to be using the Tymo CURLPRO Plus to be doing some curls in my hair. I have already tried this out on a mannequin head as well as a small little piece in the front the other day, but this will be my first time using it on my whole head. Here's the power button. You press and hold that for that to come on, and then it automatically goes on to the middle setting, which is 365 degrees. Once it heats up to where it needs to be, then this will become stable and not flash anymore. Then over here, you can change the direction of which way you want it to go. And once you press this, the device will automatically curl your hair. It can rotate around the base like this, which is nice. This is a silicone kitchen mat, which is non-slip and it's good for hot things. So I can put this on a surface and then this on top of it, and I don't have to worry about this burning anything or slipping off. It is now heated up and ready to go. If you leave it for like 10 minutes or so without doing anything, it will automatically shut off, which is nice. I did a blowout in preparation for doing these curls. Had it braided up just to keep it out of the way, especially since it was raining. And this also helped to keep my hair detangled. So I'm just gonna do this in 4 sections, although I am going to make a part because I don't want to do it straight down the middle, and if I turn it, it looks strange. I'm gonna part on this side because I parted on the other side the other day, and I think see right where this goes in. We're gonna just make a nice part. And I wanna make sure it goes pretty far back, because the other day I just did a short little part and I didn't love it. So I want my part to go kind of all the way back here. That's great. Then once I've got that, I'm gonna just roughly part it down the back. I'm gonna be curling my hair in 4 quadrants to make everything easier. The next thing I'm gonna do is use some grease. This is what I used on my last press. So there's a dab. Just the tiniest amount. I'm gonna rub between my hands. Tiny dab more. Rub that between my hands. Now, you can see like a very slight sheen. That's all you need. Then I'm going to put that into my hair and then gently comb that through. So let me just kind of fluff out the ends here. And I already put heat protection in my hair when I was blow drying it, so all I need is the grease. And of course I use the Rev Air. We're gonna try to curl everything on this side one way and then switch and do it the other side. Just kind of starting from the bottom. I think this is a good enough section. It might be too big, we'll see. Okay. Now this does have an anti-tangle measure, so it's supposed to not tangle when you put it in. And then all you have to do, this might be a little too thick, is you're gonna put it in like so, so it has to face the front. And then you press the big button at the top. Let's see what direction it's gonna go. It's gonna beep when it is ready. Then I wait 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull it out, and there's my first curl. All right, and then I'm just gonna continue. that's this whole quadrant completed. Hurrah! I love how these look. I am not a big fan of freshening out curls, so I'm just gonna let them be and they can drop on their own. This I realized really should belong to this section, so that is why I took it out. So I'm just gonna gently throw these over to here and we will continue, and I will come back on camera once I am really close to the last section. I'm back for the last section. I did change the button, so now it's curling on the other side. I've kind of been doing horizontal slices sometimes vertical, but sometimes if I'm having a hard time putting it in, I kind of start down here, it's a bit lower, and then slide it up to where I want it to be. And it's nice and quiet too. Of course, if you were just using a regular curling iron, there would be no sound at all. But for the sound this does have, it's not bad. That just looks so good. And these curls stay so well. So this is the whole side I did already, and I'm not gonna put any hairspray or anything in them because again, I'm just gonna let them fall. And there we have it, all done. This is such a fun look. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn this off and let it cool down. So now it's off. It just gave me these beautiful curls. They remind me of like rag curls from like Victorian. Here's the front. Like I said, it's a super pretty look, and I'm just going to let my hair naturally fall and do what it wants to do. Becoming close, you can see there's a lot of shine. These ends still have a little bit of texture in them, and that is to be expected because when I blow dried it, I use the Rev Air. Because the way the Rev Air works, you don't have super strong tension right at the very end, so it will never straighten out the ends as much as if you were using a paddle brush with a concentrated nozzle or the comb attachment. I don't know how long these curls will last for. The mannequin that I did them on a while ago, I didn't use any hairspray and the curls are still hanging in there. When I had tested out the curl the other day with just a little front part of my face, I felt like that curl lasted fairly long. I did comb it out later, so we'll see how long these last before they start to drop, and I think they're really, really nice. It took me about 50 minutes to curl my whole head. I just kind of took sections that are like an inch-ish, 1 to 2 inches in length, and sometimes they're like real skinny diameter so they could fit into the wand. Everything curled very, very nicely. Of course, it's a totally different curl than you would get with like wrapping your hair around a curling wand. We're gonna do a half up. I think I'm just gonna leave, do I wanna leave 1 curl down? Or do I wanna leave 2? I think 2 is good. And then we're just gonna very gently grab the back here. This little curl on its lonesome. Just very gently pull it out of there. Well, that's really pretty. Maybe just kind of leave this one alone. and kind of just doing a very gentle, romantic half up. I have this giant silky scrunchie, which I think will be perfect. And I'm just gonna pop it on here. Bobby pins just to kind of get this out of the way. Do I want one or do I want two? I kind of am digging the two. That was too much. That is my look. I am so happy with this. Just so happy. It looks so pretty. Gorgeous. And I'm sure the curls will drop a little bit. They might expand out a little bit, but that's what's great about a half up. It looks good even if everything kind of puffs a little bit. And I love this big scrunchie. I think this was definitely a success. I'm gonna let this continue to cool down and then I will put it back in the box. I like to keep the box things came in. It just makes things very easy to store. I think how I would clean this is I would probably have to take some Q-tips and put a little alcohol on it and just kind of swab all in here because it's not the type of thing that it's gonna be very easy to, you know, get a cloth in here to clean it. Of course, you know, with hot tools, you shouldn't let buildup accumulate on them because otherwise that can transfer onto your hair and then you will not have a good experience with the outcome. So I think that's how you would have to clean this. And I mean, it's looking pretty good for now, but maybe after 5 or 6 more uses, that's when you would go ahead and clean it. This is some footage from several hours later, wearing my hair out and about and seeing how well it held up. It fluffed just a tiny bit and the curls dropped a little bit as well. And I just love how it looks. Very pleased with how it held up even with no hairspray. Overall, I would say this Tymo CURLPRO Plus is a great tool. Definitely got compliments on it, and I explained that I was able to achieve this look using an automatic curler. What I like about this tool is that if you are not very coordinated or if you have mobility issues, it is extremely easy to use. You just put the hair in and hold it. After a while, it does start to feel just a touch heavy, but that's because I was using it for almost an hour. And it's much, much easier on my wrists than trying to use a tool and curl it a certain way to achieve a curl, and that way you can avoid getting carpal tunnel. This is what my hair looked like after taking it out of braids that I had slept in. I was curious to see if any curl would be retained, and I did get some beautiful braid waves. I don't think these would have been as nice if I had not started on the curls as a base, and I didn't even put any holding product or anything in them. They just came out just so nice and shiny, and any parts that were sticking up were very easily smoothed down. I am definitely going to be continuing to use this curling iron moving forward. And as nice as it looks on a blowout, it would be really fun to see how it would look on a soft press. Thank you so much for watching.